young adult, even teenager, we're told we need to be great, especially when it comes to sports. You need to be great at this. Don't you want to be great? But it's hardly ever taught that don't you want to be the greatest at it. When you change the dialogue and you change the focus from just being great is very general. Great is a group of guys or girls who excel at what they do and the world looks at them as being one of the greatest. But why not be the greatest of those people? The number one person. Right now in boxing, there's a big debate on who the GOAT is. Muhammad Ali is always the one that people look at first as being the GOAT. Who said it first? He did. I'm the greatest of all time. That should be how we look at life. Why do you have to just be a great teacher? Why not be the greatest teacher ever? That was created and instilled in me from my parents, my mother and father from an early age. In order to really know where that comes from, you have to know how I was raised. I was raised the son of a teacher, chemistry and biology. Some of the hardest subjects you could ever know. In a very, very small town where there weren't a lot of minorities. In a state where, racism is very apparent, the state of Texas. So growing up in a little country town where we were the minority and my dad is one of the minority leaders in the town, I wasn't always given a lot of rope. You had to be the best. But for years, I didn't even know my last name. I remember my first name. People would always name, that's Herbalisa. Not Larry, but that's Herbalisa. And that's how I was identified. So anything I did would be a direct reflection upon him at all times. So I learned that I wasn't working under the same rules and regulations that the rest of the world had to work on. I had a magnifying glass on me from an early age of having to walk, talk, and be a certain kind of way. I have two sisters who are older and a brother that's older. You would think that would make it easier. It didn't. Even being the youngest, it was always expected of me to be better, right? And my oldest brother actually was in a place where he didn't always make the right decisions. There are many times I would go and visit him in jail or even prison. I remember being a kid, probably like 6, 7, and I'm going into the prison to see my oldest brother, in jail. And that made it harder, where they had always, told me you can't be like that. You can't be this way, and you got to be different. And the pressure of doing that made me start to look at life differently, where not that I can't make mistakes, but if you're going to do it, you have to do it to the best of your ability.